we're back. We're back. Oh man, it's been a little hiatus. It's been a while. We if you haven't listened to us before, this is Crackin a cold one, and what we do every single day to get the podcast started. Okay, just like old times. Cheers, buddy. Like we never left. You got the butt of the right, and I have the hoop of the tea. You right? Yeah. Well, we're back. We're back, guys. It's been a while. We had obviously a little bit of technical difficulties starting out the season. I was a little bit of an idiot and broke one of the pieces to the mics, but we are back fully full-fledged. Oh yeah, now shot on an actual camera, not on my phone. So it is we're like legit now. We're doing this thing.
If you guys could see the setup, yeah, we definitely gone to another level here. We want to take it to another level in general here. So
For sure.
definitely we'll talk about that throughout the pod. But we're excited.
We got a lot. We got a lot that we're gonna run down on. We got a lot of big games this week. It's week 3, so a lot to cover. We're gonna Bryce is gonna go ahead and give you guys some fantasy gems. I definitely need it right now in 2 of my leagues. I'm 0-2, which never is a great start, but it's early. It's early, guys. So if you're in my boat, déjalo con te queréis sí, okay? Just relax, because everything's gonna be fine. We're gonna prevail.
Yep.
So we're good.
Marathon.
And then of course, I'm gonna go ahead and give out a few bets that that I'm a fan of this week. So we'll dive into that as well. But let's go ahead and let's dive in. I am going to move that. Bring the laptop over here, chill out a little bit, sit back a little bit.
Got some pillows and stuff from right before that. Oh,
If nobody has, seen this before or has been aware, they're the champs. We're still the champs. And I will be wearing this chain every single weekend now. Let's dive into, to this week. So we wanted to cover just, some of our few top stories that we have. I wanted to start off down in Miami. Miami Dolphins right now are looking god-awful this year. They just don't look like that first game, I don't know who had a worse game. Russell Wilson and the Giants or the Miami Dolphins. You look at that one play where Tua is like running out and he just throws it.
the pick.
Yeah.
For the lineman. It's right there.
So that team just looks horrible.
I would say it was a bigger loss for them because the expectations of the Giants aren't very high, with Russell. I'm not saying there was anything huge with the Dolphins either, but just over the years, their offense, they have some players, right? And you expect a lot more out of them.
Right.
But that brings us to Mike McDaniels, their leader. Is he the problem?
Which is, shocking because coming from San Francisco, he, designed such a great offense. And even the last 2 years, the Miami Dolphins we're formidable. We're still great.
Yeah.
But, you can't go into the playoffs and then have your first team be the Buffalo Bills and you're in Buffalo and say, oh, I can't play because it's too cold. Like, that's how it looked like. They looked like they couldn't even compete, but yet they had such a great season that year. So I agree right now. I think Mike McDaniels, he's been stagnant. He has not been able to adjust.
It's been a steady decline.
Yeah. Teams get to figure you out quick after your first year. Which like he has not. What's the saying? Oh, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result.
Crazy.
Insanity. Yeah, no. I do think that Mike McDaniels is on the hot seat right now, with just everything that's been going on down there, and it might be an early out for him, like middle of the season. Like I'm thinking
Short leash.
by week 6.
Yeah.
That they could be turning to the interim just because of the fact that like you don't want to go. You already have a division that you have to go against with Jets, Patriots, and the Bills. We all know the Bills are going to win that division. The Patriots could be second. That's the one team that they ain't half bad. Yeah, they ain't half. So Miami has, on paper, a better offense. I would say they even have arguably better defense than the Patriots as well. I don't know, man. I think with Mike McDaniels, it could be an early out. A real early out.
I mean, I'm with you. I think he's lost. He blew out his steam. He's out of steam, and he's lost the locker room. If you ask me, I mean, in my opinion, it almost seems like they probably should have just traded Tyreek before the season. Like kind of like the Cowboys did with Micah. Like, no, they didn't get maybe the return you want and whatnot. But like, I have to give them credit with that. No distraction for the season now. Like the boys are the boys in the locker room. Like no one, dividing them, which kind of feels like that a little bit. There's been comments coming from each of the players that, there's little jabs at each other. And,
I mean, it's week 3 and they're already having a players only meeting.
Yeah. So I think the first person to go is going to be McDaniels, and it's written on the wall. And I mean, going into tonight here with the Bills, I mean, you have to anticipate they're going to be 0-3. So kind of like you're saying, week 6, I think that timeline might be bet on.
Yeah. Let's moving on to our next topic that we have here. What about Ben Johnson? Ben Johnson in Chicago. I think hasn't really been the greatest start. I'm going to say this too, just, no offense to Ben and whatnot, but like, he comes off a little bit as a dick.
He kind of has, huh?
Like, it's almost like it's his way or the highway. Like, he can't. I think the best leaders in the world, they meet you where you're at, and they're able to go ahead and take you to where they believe where you can go, right? Caleb Williams had, he had a respectful college career. Coming into the NFL, obviously was number 1 pick. There should be no excuse.
Yeah.
Ben Johnson designed such a great offense over in Detroit with Jared Goff. You now have a mobile quarterback. I'm not going to say that it's, that I'm out on him, but it's just very upsetting to see, I at least had high hopes for him. Yeah. Going into this season, I thought to myself, I'm like, Chicago might be an actual respectable team.
They're formidable.
Yeah. I believe they're doing well, though.
Yeah.
I will tell you this. I was hurt last week when I had Roman Doomsday on.
Yeah, so he looks great.
He's on my bench, and I was like, DJ Moore, you're not starting no more.
There's sophomore slumps, and then there's the guys that need the second year to get, and he's on that list. And with Ben Johnson, I'll say, I think the general public definitely just thought the Bears were going to be much more fluid and a better result early on. I have to say, I kind of was thinking it could potentially be this way, just because you look at the past of some of these offensive minds that go to the teams to be head coaches, and it doesn't always work out. I mean, sometimes they are OCs for a reason. And like I think of Tennessee, Brian Callahan coming from the Bengals, right? I mean, I think Brian Dable has struggled with being with the Giants, you know what I mean? And now here we go with Ben Johnson, now 0-2. Not trying to overreact or anything like that, but I think, the honeymoon phase is officially over.
Yeah.
Right? So, want to see better out of him? I think we will. I think he will. I think he's a smart guy, but it is going to come down to kind of Kuro.
Yeah, there's going to have to be a change, definitely, like when it comes to just how that team operates. I don't know if it's the coaching or the defense or what. I mean, hey, we'll we're gonna have to, obviously,
Some more games.
it's way too early. Way too early, in my opinion. You know what I always say? Week 4. Well, I would say after week 4, we can kind of start gauging the real people in the league. So the real teams in the league.
Another one that we have here. So blast from the past. So we have 2 players that, one of them right now is just looking amazing, and DeAndre Hopkins. DeAndre Hopkins down in Baltimore has probably been the best off-season signing. I would say underrated off-season signing.
Yeah.
This
Well, it was good news for them. Clearly, I mean, they needed kind of a possession receiver like that is reliable. I think for Lamar, and it seems to be fruitful so far. I think he's a good compliment. Bateman's kind of take the lid off the defense. Zay's the gadget, kind of do it all over the field guy, and I think now he's got a little bit of a safety net again because Mark Andrews isn't looking like the same player at all. They're desperately wanting Isaiah Likely back, and it sounds like he's in the right trajectory here. But yeah, he's been a pleasant surprise. He was a small look. I loved him in Tennessee. Like he's not the same player that he was, but it's not only his play, but he's a true leader. Yeah. True leader, and he's on a great team.
He was in Tennessee when Tannehill was down there, right?
No, I mean it was really like Levis and in that kind of era, and
Tannehill had AJ, right?
Yeah, he had AJ. Yeah,
I was gonna say I know Tannehill had a great quarterback.
Yeah, no, they were a good combo. I mean, back in the day, Tannehill and AJ. I mean, they both kind of put themselves on the map. With each other. So
I wanted to see. I was just randomly thinking. I'm like, wait, where is Ryan Tannehill?
He's not. I mean, he hasn't retired, but he hasn't been signed. I mean, it's coming.
Yeah. And then we have another one this weekend that's going to be interesting to see. Carson Wentz with Kevin O'Connell and Josh McCown. Kevin O'Connell and Josh McCown have done a great job with development and also with quarterbacks that, like we're going to just call it out. Sam Darnold. Yeah. They did an amazing job with him. Yeah. They're probably regretting not having him back over there right now. Because of how everything's been going with JJ, but with Carson Wentz, this is something I was thinking about when I was putting this together today. Could we see vintage Carson come back and JJ is on the bench the rest of the season?
Well, I'll say this is the last hurrah for him, and to everything you've been saying, I mean, I don't know if he could ask for a better place here. Yeah. I mean, great coaching. They're going to believe in it. I mean, they went out because they traded for him. They went after him for a reason to be the backup. So definitely saw something there. Pretty darn good receiving core. After this week, he's going to get Addison back. With JJ, Nair's look pretty good in my opinion. Now, the big blow there is Aaron Jones. Yeah. Right? IR. But Jordan Mason, no slouch. Nope. I think he'll eat. So I think Wentz has the weapons. He has a solid enough offensive line to get finally have a second shot that he wants. So it's going to be really interesting. The coaching, he couldn't ask for better coaching. The matchup this week, let's see here. Vikings play Cincinnati, very winnable game too, with them not having Burrow. I like that a lot. So I'm going to give Wentz the benefit of the doubt, especially because in my 2 quarterback league, I have to play him because Justin Fields is out this week.
Okay. I think it's it'll be fun to see. I'm not a hater on Carson Wentz, although I kind of put him in the same bucket as Ben Simmons. So I'm not gonna say I'm a hater to the fullest on Carson.
Are you a Philly fan?
No. Am I? But I'm really curious to see how he does with them this weekend. I was actually laughing when the Vikings got him because I'm like, oh, that's interesting. So Carson effed up your guys' season. That's right. For us to go ahead and get to the Super Bowl. Although Foles played obviously in the playoffs, but you know.
Yeah.
I'm actually no. I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see what Carson does. And like I said, I have you know, a lot of high hopes with Kevin O'Connell and Josh McCown. So should be good. Yeah, should be good.
I agree.
All right, let's move on to our next segment here, our hot take reaction. So we have this one here that I was, you know, wanted to throw out there and see everybody's reaction to this topic. So, what are your thoughts on Daniel Jones and the Colts?
Yeah, but it's been the surprise of the season so far. It is one of those things. Can't overreact yet. 2 weeks in. Last year, you know who else was 2-0 and looking great? Derek Carr and the Saints. Remember that? And then they ended up with the way they ended up. So I'm not going to crown them yet, but you know what? They look darn good. The offense looks phenomenal. I think Shane Steichen's onto something. He just needed a quarterback that can process with the time. And now he has it because Daniel Jones for the first time has time. And it looks like that he's able to read the defense. And with his wheels and being able to have time to make accurate throws with pretty good receiving core when you really think about it. Pittman, Downs, Adonai Mitchell, Alec Pierce. Now they got Warren. I mean, JT. Whew. I mean, they have a squad. They got a little squad. I hate to admit this, but they're probably going to win the division. I think they have it. Now, their secondary's god-awful.
Mm-hmm.
They're just going to have to win in shootouts. But I think Shane Steichen can do it. And I think, I don't know if they're real contenders in the AFC, but I'll say I think they're going to win our division.
So, damn it, I'm gonna say that I definitely do think we're gonna be winning your division.
Yeah.
I think I don't know, man. It can get to the point where teams are so high on this big high, right? And it's going to depend on who they get as their first round matchup in the playoffs. But they can be on this high where they could, you know, have that momentum going into the playoffs and then win. And then they're looking as like real contenders. So looking at this list of strength of schedule that I had up here, they actually had in the beginning of the season the 25th easiest schedule. Or I should say 25th hardest schedule. So
One of the
easiest schedules in the NFL. Looking at this list of teams that they play this year, Rams, Chargers, Kansas City, and Houston are the only teams that I see on this list right now that
are like playoff teams.
Yeah, that could be, you know, playoff teams, of course. And I'm not putting Seattle in there just because of the fact that I just haven't seen Seattle.
Yeah.
Same with the Cardinals as well. But their schedule is fairly easy. We're going to see how this weekend goes with a division game, you know, against you guys, Tennessee Titans. It's going to be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say that, you know what? I think that these guys are they're going to be contenders by the end of the year.
Yeah. We're going to see where we are with this in 5 weeks from now.
I know, it's like we gotta like start clipping these.
Yeah, and then we're gonna have to climb back and be like, shit.
Oh, we're clipping this one. All right, going on to our next topic that we have here. So we are going to Dev and I both chose a different game, but we're actually going to go through the pick'em for game of the week, and then we're going to go through the rest of the schedule really quick, kind of talk about everything else that we have coming up. So, would you like to go first, my friend?
Sure, I sure will. So, my game I have is the Lions-Ravens. I think that's the one that I kind of most looking forward to, minus my Titans, obviously. So, Lions-Ravens, why do I like it? 2 explosive offenses. The implied total's at 53.5, which Vegas is telling us they're going to score some freaking points there. Lamar Jackson. Is he maybe 2 games in looking like the MVP?
Yeah.
I mean, over 400 yards passing, 6 passing touchdowns, almost 100 yards rushing and a rushing touchdown.
That's insane.
136 quarterback rate. I mean, dude's killing it.
Yeah.
And I think with the Swiss cheese secondary with the Lions, it's probably going to be able to happen again. So I anticipate him having a huge game there. And then the Lions, right? The question with them is, what team are we going to get? Because in a way, they're in the same situation as you guys, right? Lost their OC, lost their DC too. They're still trying to like figure out life without them both, Glenn and Johnson. So to me, it's like, well, you're playing now another great defense again with the Ravens. So we're going to see more of the 13-point Lions, right? I'm thinking maybe somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
I'm thinking maybe, the game's going to be like a 20, maybe a 31 to like 24 game or something like that. All right, a high scoring affair. Ravens take the dub, in my opinion there. Injuries, the key injuries here, I'd say more so on the Lions side. A couple starting people. Taylor Decker's their left tackle. Jack Campbell, who we know is a nice linebacker. And then Marcus Davenport, one of their important edges. So I kind of think they're more so hurting from there. Whereas on the other side, it's just Van Noy, in my opinion. That's a big loss. He's one of their best pass rushers. Nate Wiggins looks like he's going to be all right. And we might see Isaiah Likely this week. So that's another boost for them.
He's out.
He is out?
Yeah. The reason why I know is I acquired him, and he has been officially
out. When I did this earlier, he was limited.
Yeah.
Well, I still stand by everything.
I like it. Did you have any other points with that, or?
So I just think based on the injury report, if they're going to miss some of these guys, like if Jack Campbell doesn't play with Marcus Davenport on the defensive side, that's Lamar right up the lane right there for rushing. So we could see a huge day out of him, and that's part of my choosing and why I think the Ravens are going to win in the end.
So we're going to go on my end with, of course, none other than Eagles versus Rams. Now,
I don't hate the pick.
And this is, I was texting Beggs earlier about this when I was looking at the schedule, and I said, I was asking him, like, what is your pick for your game of the week? Because, it's obviously talking about the same game, but both of these games obviously are very, very good games. Eagles versus Rams, rematch of the NFC Championship game.
Mm-hmm.
You have Jared Verse, of course, coming back to Philly after talking so much shit last time, and, them losing, and he continues to fuel the fans over in Philly. I know they love him when he comes there. In my opinion, the Eagles have not looked fluid. They have not looked that great. Like, offensively, they have looked very dry. I mean, Jalen Hurts only has 250 some odd yards passing so far this season.
Mm-hmm.
That is ridiculous. Like, there's
a little hangover.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say really like a hangover. I just think, like, with Alfredo, I think, like, he's really, we talked about this as well. He has not designed, in my opinion, a good enough offense, or even just good enough plays for them to go ahead and, like, have some options and be able to throw more. And I get that we have, Saquon back there, but you just don't want to rely on, and maybe they are going to be a running team. They haven't really found their true identity, but obviously it's still early, but they need either a smack in the mouth, or they need a strong game. Either a smack in the mouth or just a strong game that they need to win to go ahead and finally, like, have some type of, like, because if they get smacked in the mouth, all right, you're gonna have to wake up quick to figure out what the hell is going on, right? Yeah. To move forward and actually start, because you're gonna start having the AJ effect happening, and I get it. AJ is AJ. AJ is just, he just wears his emotions on his sleeve.
Mm-hmm.
So the media is going to go ahead and construe it one way or the other.
But you still just don't want any type of like bad blood inside of that locker room, right? You want everything to be good. So like I said, Eagles just not have looked fluid yet. I think they're going to need to, and going back to my point, it's either smacking them out for a strong game. If they have a strong game and they win this, then look back on what you did and say, all right, this is where our offense is right here. This is where we are. We're either a passing team or a running team. You got to have some sort of balance, though. So that's at the end of the day with that.
Yeah.
With the Rams, they deliberately have the best D line in the NFL. Jared Verse, Braden Fisk, and Kobe Turner. I mean, these boys. Jared Verse is awesome. I mean, I hate that he talks shit, but he was so freaking good. Really, so freaking good.
They hit the nail on the head there.
Hell yeah. Braden Fisk. I mean, he's respectable as well. I mean, their D line is undoubtedly, like I said, the best in the NFL. And they're just going to continue to get better. It's early in the season for them as well. Now, notable injuries that they have, though. Devontae Adams is out. Or not out, but Devontae Adams, at least today, did not practice. Braden Fisk, even though I just talked about him, he didn't practice. And also, the offensive line, Steve Avila, he also did not practice today. So, these are three guys that if they didn't practice, it's either they're out, questionable, whatever it might be for Sunday. It's going to be interesting how this team is. And in my opinion, I want full strength team. We have not faced a team really with full strength. I want a full strength team. So, and on our side, the only thing we have is Will Shipley. He's the only one that didn't with the ribs, right? With his ribs.
Those are notable injuries. So even if one of them is out of the three, that's a big loss for the Rams.
Yeah,
they're key players.
Yeah, I'm a homer. I'm going with the Eagles. I think because of the fact if they go into that game with those injuries, you're gonna have all the bulletin board material from Jared Verse and their fans and all that crap. Yeah, Jalen Carter is still Jalen Carter. Let's just remember that. And then also Matthew Stafford. Yeah, he's still Matthew Stafford, but he's going old himself. Puka's going to be covered by Quinn Young. Devontae's out there. I mean, the boy has to do better, but last weekend he at least did solid, although the Chiefs don't really have anybody to pass it to. So we'll see what happens, but I personally am taking the Eagles.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's gonna be a close game, though. I think it could be like a 17-14 type of game because it's gonna come down to defense.
Just who gets enough on the offensive end.
All right. Next topic we have here: upset alert. So, me personally, these boys have I would say that last week I was like, okay, I can respect you guys now, right? The Giants. The Giants are home. Chiefs have to go to New York. Chiefs got that, like, they just completely, like, off last week. And then also, the Giants, that's another team that has probably, like, one of the top defensive lines in the league as well.
Yeah, they're ferocious.
Yeah, with Dex, got Brian Burns back there, and you have Abdul. Oh my God! And then you can't forget about Kayvon Thibodeau.
Oh my God, that's so gross.
Like,
oh God.
I think personally that the Giants are going to get to Patrick Mahomes a lot.
Around a little bit.
I think it's going to get to the point. Yeah, the Chiefs are going to have to figure something out, but. I'm Alex Nasser. You'll love this, but Giants over Chiefs, bud. Giants over Chiefs, and y'all need this because last week was some bullshit losing to the fucking Cowboys. So.
Yeah, that was a bad loss for that. I mean, it would have been a good win, but tough loss, I should say, not a bad loss.
Yeah.
Mine. Maybe I got some goggles on, maybe not, but I'm taking my Titans over the Colts, actually, because I think that the Colts are going to face the best defense that they faced thus far. They are away. Titans are home. I think that's going to bode well for Cam Ward and kind of get himself in the groove. This is his first home game here. It's going to be so. I think they get it done on a defensive effort. The offense does enough. I think Rummy's going to eat this week because the Colts secondary.
Okay.
So sneak peek to my stardoms there, but Titans over Colts home victory. I'll go 24-17.
Okay. I guess I know. Oh, yeah, I did give a 17-14. Yeah, no, that's a Titans over Colts. You guys are home too, right?
We're home.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think that it could just be the type of thing where
Plays your favor.
Yeah, I think the narrative and whatnot, like we may stop them a little bit in their tracks.
First divisional game for you guys too?
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and let's do our rapid fire pick'ems. So starting off Miami Buffalo. I think we're both
No
the same
secret.
page. Buffalo.
Yeah.
Second game we have here, Green Bay at Cleveland. Micah Parsons. Green Bay. That team is just crazy. Green Bay. Yep. Yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Tampa Bay against the Jets.
No Fields, no go.
Tampa Bay.
Mm-hmm.
Rams at Eagles.
I took the Rams.
Birds took the Rams. I'm taking the Birds. I'm taking the Birds.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Hey, we could look in your favor. Who knows?
We'll see. It's gonna be. I think you're right. It's gonna be a really good game.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that one.
Atlanta at Carolina. I got Atlanta. I'm taking Atlanta.
Yeah.
As well. I'm taking Atlanta.
Red Bull Penix.
Indianapolis at Tennessee.
I'm taking Tennessee.
I'm not doing this because of the fact that you picked the Rams, but I actually have Indy.
Yeah, that's fine.
I have Indy.
And you're not crazy.
Pittsburgh at New England.
I'm thinking New England.
I'm taking Pittsburgh.
Okay, I like them at home.
Pittsburgh have a good, New England have a good defense, but I think
Roger,
yeah, he's not bad. Vegas at Washington.
I'm taking Washington.
I'm taking Vegas.
You're taking Vegas.
I think that defensive line gets to Mariota. I don't think I've seen enough of him when he was in Philly, so I'm going to think he can win the game. No.
I was thinking home. Gino plays a little bit of a different quarterback when he's outdoors. That could be a close one, actually.
Yeah.
I'm going to stand by Washington.
Cincinnati at Minnesota. Taking Minnesota.
I'm taking Minnesota. Battle of the backups. I'm taking them home. Mm-hmm.
Houston at Jacksonville.
I'm taking Jacksonville.
I'm taking Houston. I'm not sure. Like, I was even looking at the bets, and I'm like, wait, why is Houston underdogs right now?
Dude, they can't protect Stroud.
It doesn't matter. I don't think Jacksonville can do anything to go ahead and get to him. I don't even think that Jacksonville.
They're 2-0.
Yeah. Rapid fire, guys. Rapid fire.
Seattle or New Orleans
At Seattle.
Seattle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Denver at Chargers. Great game.
That was a great game. I took Denver. I think the defense gets it done for them. I think it's a low-scoring game in general from these teams.
I'm taking the Chargers. I'm in belief with Harbaugh and what he's doing over there, so I'm taking Chargers.
He is a beast.
Dallas at Chicago.
I'm taking Dallas.
Ben Johnson finally gets his first dub.
Okay.
I don't think their defense is horrible, and I think that the offense for Chicago is going to be too good. Arizona at San Francisco.
I got Arizona.
As well.
Mm-hmm.
Kansas City and New York.
I'm going to take Kansas City.
I got the Giants.
All right.
And the last game of the week we have for Monday night is Detroit at Baltimore.
I'm standing by my Baltimore pick.
I'm taking Baltimore as well. Yeah. So we'll go ahead and Doug's is gonna stay on top of the picks for us this week, but we'll keep the record going. Now moving on to the fantasy football corner.
Here we go. We got some stardom sit-ems here. So I'm going to start with the quarterback position here on the stardoms. So number one, I got Dak. I think that, I'll say Dak and Caleb. They're both in there. I think that they both have defenses that give up a ton of points. No Jalen Johnson for Chicago. I think CD eats. I think Caleb has his best game so far of the season. So I got both of them as stardoms. And then I'm also going to stow kind of with Jordan Love. I think Jordan Love has been playing great football. Another solid matchup for him versus Cleveland. So I like that. Now on the sit-ems on the quarterback side, so I got first Daniel Jones. I think that he has kind of a little bit more of a flatter game. Going with my narrative, I think the Titans are going to win, right? Then I have Kyler Murray. I think it's going to be a divisional type of win, not a Kyler win, right? I think he's going to struggle a little bit. Their defense still isn't bad there in San Fran, so maybe a little bit of a tough go. And CJ Stroud, I just think he doesn't have enough time right now. He just, his receiving core is a little banged up anyway without Christian Kirk, so I'm a little worried on them and him in general. Now, moving on to the running back position. So stardom of the week. So I do love Saquon Barkley. I think with just the nature of who he's playing and whatnot, I think he's going to be all amped up. They definitely been using him a lot and relying on him a lot. So I just think that they're going to feed him and kind of get it done. If they're going to get it done, it's going to be with him, in my opinion. It's a Thursday night game, but I love James Cook tonight. I think that he's going to have a great game versus Miami. Again, the defense hasn't looked that good. I could foresee like a 2-touchdown type of situation from him. And then I'm also going to stick with another stud here, Josh Jacobs, because he's 11 games straight with a touchdown. I think he's going to go 12 versus Cleveland. They're definitely going to get there in the goal line. I think he punches it in there. Now, going on the other side of things here, so the sit-ems here. So I think I'm going to go with Travis Etienne. I think he's had a bullish kind of start right now versus Houston. Houston does have a nice front line with Danielle Hunter, Anderson, and whatnot. So I think he'll get a little stuffed up. I'd sit him. I'd also sit Kyron Williams versus the Eagles, right? Or I wouldn't love playing him, I should say. It's going to be a tough go for him. I think that they're going to end up trying to pass a little more potentially, target the second cornerback, like the Adams space, things like that. And then my last is Armarian Hampton. You want him, hope he's going to get going just because of his draft capital and fantasy and things like that. But Denver is a great defense, and I just think that they're probably going to have to try to throw on them, and they're going to get stuffed at the line there. It could be more of a Najee game, honestly, just the nature of who they're playing. Moving on to receivers, right? So I'm going to stick with the correlation with those, with the quarterbacks there. So I'm going to go with CeeDee Lamb. I mean, that's no secret, but I think he's going to have a bonkers game here. I think he's due. He hasn't had a touchdown in a while, so I think he's due for a touchdown there. So we got CD there. Next, I'm going to go with Brian Thomas. He's been a little bit under the radar. He plays Houston. Houston has definitely given up some points to fantasy receivers like Ibuka last week. So I think this is kind of like the get-right game for Thomas, and going to the correlation that ETN's going to get stuffed up and they're going to have to throw the ball. And then I also love, again, the correlation, Roma Dooms. We were just talking about him. He looks phenomenal. I mean, he's a top maybe 14 to 20 receiver right now in fantasy, in my opinion. So he's going to have a really nice game. I think DJ Moore's kind of taking on the challenge of,
he is now taking. He's like second fiddle because I have them both in one league, and this is the first time this whole entire season that DJ Moore has less projected points than Roma Dunze.
Yeah. No, I think there might be a torch being handled potentially as the favorite target. So I have him on my stardoms. Now, my sit-ems, I have one Marvin Harrison Jr. I'm kind of going with Kyler there. He's looked flat. They look flat. He might be somewhat, I don't want to say a bust. He's an NFL receiver, but just from where he was drafted, it hasn't been fruitful so far. It just really hasn't. I'm actually going to go with Tyreek Hill because I think that he's still just checked out. It's the type of thing, if I had Tyreek Hill, I wouldn't be too excited about throwing him in my lineup. That's just my opinion. I called that in the beginning of the year, too. And then my last sit-em here is going to is going to be Ted McMillan, because he's going to be shadowed by Terrell. Going to be probably the hardest matchup of the year so far for him. So I just think with the divisional matchup, it's going to be dicey for him. So those are my starting sit-ems: quarterback, running back, receiver.
How's it feel?
Oh, fantasy, it's good to have it back, man. I love it. No, it makes the game, in my opinion, that betting, it just makes the games more enjoyable. It just gives you a little more skin in the game, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what you got?
I don't know if I can go ahead and say that what I'm going to go ahead and hand out to you guys is going to be, perfect. But I got some good. I got 2 parlays that I'm going with this week. So we're going to go with. I'm just going to go ahead and go with my first one, which is based off of just the games of the week that we have.
Okay.
So first game that I'm picking is Green Bay minus 8.5 against the Cleveland Browns. I think that is, I think that's a no-brainer because of the fact that I think that they'll end up just beating down that offense for the Browns.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay minus 7 over the Jets.
I love that.
Jets have a okay defense, but I mean, they've been able to at least stay in games. But
who's replacing Fields? Do you know?
I have no idea. I can
look that up.
Will not even look that up. But I have the Bucks minus 7.
Okay.
I'm not gonna like this one, but I have the Colts minus 4.5. I think the offense is strong.
Tyrod.
I will say this, that I have not seen much of your guys' games, so I'm not sure how you. I just haven't seen your defense correctly, so. I'm gonna go with
if you ask me.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Colts minus 4.5.
Okay.
I'm taking the Raiders plus 3.5.
Plus points ain't bad in that game.
Yeah, over the Commanders. I'm taking Minnesota. Minnesota right now is minus 3 over the Bengals.
Okay.
And then the last game that I'm taking is Houston plus 1.5 over the Jags. All of that right there will give you $10. Will give you $4.69.
I love it.
Not bad at all.
Yeah.
And then for touchdowns, I'm doing anytime touchdown parlays as well. I have Josh Jacobs.
Okay.
Over the Browns. I have Bucky Irving with the Buccaneers over the Jets. Saquon.
Mm-hmm.
I have Justin Jefferson. I think that man's going to get a few tutties this weekend.
Okay.
Drake London.
Okay.
And then my last one I have here is Ja'Cory Croskett-Merritt from the Commanders.
No Eckler. He's going to get a lot of carries, huh?
Yeah, I think
that's what happened in our league.
I dropped him.
In your league. In another league.
Yeah.
You dropped Eckler?
Yeah, I have.
Oh, he's out.
Yeah. No, I know.
Yeah.
It's sad. So he might be done. That might be the end of his career.
I don't think you can come back from that, if I'm being honest.
That list of anytime touchdowns will give you $10. Will give you $4.15. I like so. Yeah. So, I mean, with that being said, we got a pretty big week. Games of the week for us. The Ravens and the Lions. Me, I got the Eagles and the Rams. So it's gonna be interesting. Let's see, if McDaniels can go ahead and at least take himself out of the hot seat. If they're gonna take the L regardless. That line right now is minus 12. Actually, no. Let me check that. Let me see where it's at right now. Wow! Holy crap! Dolphins are up right now, 7-0. Spread is 6.5 for the Dolphins, minus 6.5.
Wow,
6.5. So we'll see how they do tonight. He might take himself out of the hot seat. We gotta see. Gotta see what Ben Johnson does, of course, as well with the Bears.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm excited to see what Carson Wentz can go ahead and do over there in Minnesota as well.
We'll see too. Dan Jones legit. Yeah, that's my other thing. I want a third game. If he does it to us, then I'll be sipping the Kool-Aid a little bit more.
Okay. Well, guys, we are back at it. This is going to be an every week thing. I would try to get episodes out every Friday, but of course, if there's just schedule conflicts, we'll post on our social on Instagram. Go ahead and follow us on Instagram, Cracking a Cold One Pod. And yeah, I mean, like I said, we're gonna keep at it every single week, and we'll have some clips out as well. And yeah, we'll stay engaged, and you guys stay engaged as well.
It's gonna be
In the meantime,
guys.
cheers, buddy.
And that is a wrap.
The birds. The birds.